Today, Liontown Resources, ticker LTR, announced they have FID for their 500,000 tonne per annum Kathleen Valley lithium mine. This is massive news. It's just come out in the past 24 hours, and this is off the back of offtake agreements with Ford, Tesla, and LG. So today, we're going to perform some technical analysis and make some predictions on where we can expect to see LTR go in the near future. Let's get into it. Welcome back into the LTR chart, guys. It's been some time since we've taken a look at Liontown, so I thought right now is the perfect time off the back of this fantastic news to have a look and see exactly where it's sitting. Right now, the price of LTR is sitting at $1.12. After the close of today, we hit a high over here of $1.25 and a low of $1.10. Now, this is a pretty important day, as you can imagine, not only from an FA perspective, but as well due to what we're seeing on the chart. First and foremost, it's quite clear that one of our biggest issues was we were stuck below all our moving averages at the moment, the 20 being our first one. The 20-day moving average has now been broken. That moving average right now is sitting roughly at about $1.08 to 9 cents. We have significantly exceeded that today and even almost tested right now our 50-day moving average, which is sitting roughly at about $1.26. So even though today we only got up to $1.25, right now it's showing 1.259. So effectively we have managed to see a test of that today. It rebounded off that point, unfortunately, after an initial run. But as you can see, we did manage to close above that 20-day. That is very significant because when we are struggling to, I suppose, get some momentum behind a stock, the moving averages always come into play and they act as major points of resistance for us to, I suppose, reverse the direction of the existing trend. So we've seen sort of a potential change happening right now, and that 20-day being broken is extremely significant. The fact that we managed to test that 50-day as well within the same trading day is also showing that there is strength behind this one. And given that this isn't off the back of anything just specifically technical, it's FA as well, we should start to see, I suppose, a bit of a leap up when it comes to the trend here, and hopefully a little bit of a reversal. The lowest point we got down to on this chart was over here, and it was only recently on the 24th of June, and that was a low of 87.5 cents. So what we're going to do right now is basically take a nice line there, and we're going to use that as a major point of support for us. So worst case scenario, if of course we start to move in a bit of a downwards direction, that's likely the spot will be headed, but hopefully now, given this news, that won't be the case anymore. Do we have any other horizontal points of resistance in play now? I'm thinking probably where we bounced off was a major one. And as you can see, as we move just, I suppose, the chart up a bit, we're to bounce back over here on the 5th of October at this point, and this is at that dollar, and I suppose the low point of this day was $1.24. That was our mark. We have seen that was touched today, tried to get through it, didn't manage it unfortunately, so that is realistically the target that we need to exceed. Of course, that lines up beautifully with the 50-day moving average as well over here, so ideally we close above both of them, and given that's moving in downwards direction, they should within the next few trading days be within the same, I suppose, range from a dollar perspective. So looking really good there. Is there a trend that we need to break? That's probably the other major thing. So of course we did have some real big peaks over here, but I don't think that's really where the trend starts for us. I'd say the trend starts probably more around this point over here, and you can see we've had a few various touch points across the board when it comes to, I suppose, a descending channel from that perspective. So I'm just going to try and illustrate that one a bit for us over here by chucking in a nice line. I'll put the bottom line in, of course, parallel as well. Maybe it's not a parallel line, in fact it might be a bit more of a descending wedge, but at this point in time it's easier to visualize it in this way. you can see we've broken that downward trend now, which is something we were struggling to do. The only other time we tried to do that was over here on the 31st of May when we got up just above that trend line to a high of $1.43. It also looks like we closed above that point on that day as well, which is of course really positive, but we didn't manage to maintain that. And you can see a big drop after that point, probably likely due to the fact that people are seeing this as a trading opportunity more than anything else at the moment. Is there anything that concerns me? I suppose right now what concerns me is we have a potential for a gap forming here, and I think that's realistically why the price has come down a little bit. The high of yesterday was a value of $1.08.5. The low of today was $1.10. So we've got a few cent gap just here, and we might see that gap close likely within the next trading day or two, and then hopefully we'll start moving in an upwards direction. And we'll still manage to maintain our breakout of our channel if we do so, given the trajectory of it at this point in time. So all in all, still looking good. A bounce off the trend line shows strength, so we are hopefully going to see that occur. Let's take a look at a few more indicators. First and foremost, volume. Anything significant going on? Well, obviously we have had a bit more volume than we typically see today, and that's indicative of an announcement occurring. A lot of traders typically come in when we see big announcements like this occur to take quick profits, but also a lot of institutions and actually, I suppose, smaller investors use these sort of announcements to trade as well. You always will see the typical buy the rumor, sell the news situation occurring, so we may have been seeing a bit of that today as well. Let's have a look at I'm going to bring up the RSI first and foremost, to be honest. And what it's showing us is that the vast majority of the trading that occurred today was actually buying, and over the past few days it has been as well. The RSI was actually oversold only on the 23rd of June, and that was at 27.93, and that's basically when we did hit that low. Right now we've shot up to 48.91. Plenty more room to keep moving upwards, and that's the most important point. We're nowhere near the overbought range. In fact, we're not even halfway there. So the momentum certainly can continue on that basis. MACD, let's have a look at this one as well. Bringing that one up here. And what we've seen is a cross of the 12-day EMA above the 26-day EMA. And we're only on our third green day from that point. So to me, this is showing a reversal in the trend. And one of the best ways to trade, in my opinion, is by using these EMAs and when they cross to make your buy and sell decisions, because it shows a typical change in the trend. So right now we are certainly seeing that change in the trend occur, and I think we're going to keep seeing this continue as well. So continue moving in an upwards direction, looking very, very positive from that perspective. And as we, I suppose, go back historically, you can see that these green periods will last a few weeks at least. So hopefully we do start to see some momentum gather, and given our red period previously was very, very shallow compared to others that we have seen before, I'm thinking that the selling off has started to come to a bit of a halt. And in my opinion, a lot of the downtrend we have seen over the past few weeks, if not month, is driven by the overall market as opposed to LTR itself, and people getting a bit skittish from that perspective. So what is my target at the moment? Well, we're currently sitting at $1.12. Realistically, I'd like to see basically a bounce occur and then come back up and immediately try and test that $1.25 or 24-cent mark. Ideally, break through and close above it. But first and foremost, we want to see the price get back there and test that key point of resistance. That will be the short-term target for Liontown Resources. That wraps up today's analysis of Liontown Resources, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments section below. This is massive news, and of course, we are going to hopefully see a rise in the value of LTR over the coming months. Let me know your thoughts down below. Of course, if you did enjoy today's video as well, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And of course, if you'd like to subscribe and hit that bell notification, you'll keep up to date with all the latest content. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.